Welcome. This is RAPCO365 with your recap. I am your host, Yasmyne Mckinley, where we know what you want to know. Today, our first feature story will be the Stop the Violence Roundtable Talk at Yasmyne Baptist Church, where your local pastors, community officials, chief of police, and district attorney come and hear the opinions and concerns of the community on how they can make the city of Albany a better place.
We're delighted to be here. Amen. Look at somebody and say, I'm delighted to be here. All of your presence confirm our being here tonight by walking out in here, working together, closer together. In Jesus' name we pray. We say amen.
Amen. And we know that there's a lot of things we can do if we come together and make sure our community strives.
And a lot of times you will hear that, well, Albany is worse today than it was then. But let me throw this perspective at you. In 1987, we recorded 17 homicides that year. 1988, we recorded 24. And if you remember, that's when they tagged Albany as the murder capital of this country.
Chief Person's job is extremely difficult because of, as he just said, an undereducated community.
And then when they go to school, they still have challenges. But everything starts with education. And I do believe that there's a beautiful path for Albany. Chief Church talked about some of our statistics, and we have this false idea of Albany so often. And we believe that it was so much better so long ago, and we will never be as good as we were. But the truth is that we're in a good place. There are challenges, but if we do not have hope that things can be better, we'll absolutely be disappointed. So I do believe ensuring that our students are educated and ensuring that students are employable.
My question is, how can we condense the information and make it more accessible on a platform so that more of the community are aware?
One of the reasons that I kind of stay in my lane a little bit, and I've talked to people about this when we talk about stop the violence and different things, because sometimes we say stop the violence in a way that makes it appear somehow our kids are innately violent. Our kids are innately bad. So we have to deal with them first, instead of thinking about what's causing them to be this way. What are the conditions in our community that have caused them to pick up a gun?
Up next, we have Will Davis, the chairman of the 2nd Congressional District of the Democratic Party of Georgia. We'll be right back.
When life gets wild, get wilder. Soar higher. Roar louder. Get your feet wet, because wild times call for wild adventures. Explore 170 acres of rides and slides and discover over 100 exotic animals. Go wild in all-new Oasis Outpost with a 2023 season pass. Buy today at wildadventures.com. The park opens March 18th.
When it comes to uprooting tree service, I can always count on Warren to get the job done.
In the studio today, we have Will Davis, chairman of the Georgia 2nd Congressional District for the Democratic Party of Georgia. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Glad to be here.
Thank you for coming.
The pleasure is all mine.
Okay, so let's get started. What is the role of a district chair?
So as the district chair, for those that are unaware, Georgia has 159 counties. Those 159 counties are divided into 14 districts. And so back in January, I was elected to be chairman of the 2nd Congressional District, which is the district, and that's a senatorial district, which is the district for Congressman Sanford Bishop. That district contains 30 counties, all the way from Houston County, all the way down south to Thomasville, going across to Seminole, and on the other side. But in between, we got Doherty, Mitchell, all of those. So it's 30 counties. So my responsibility as the district chair is to ensure that, one, we have county committees in every county. And that county committee will consist of a county chairman, a first vice chairman, a second vice, a secretary, and a treasurer. And those individuals will be responsible for all things Democratic in that particular county. My responsibility to ensure that they get set up properly, that they have their bylaws in place, and that they're adhering to the bylaws of the Democratic Party of Georgia, which we call the DPG. And so in that establishment, their role is to enlist the community, particularly Democrats, into getting individuals to get out there to help rally so we can elect good quality Democrats for any of these parties or in these races. And then also, fundamentally, we need to also raise money to support them.
Okay. So it's committees on top of committees on top of committees.
Right.
Okay. You mentioned the county chair. What or who is that, and what is their role?
Okay. Presently, Dougherty County is in formation, and presently, Mr. James Williams, he's the county chair of the Dougherty County Democratic Committee, and Democratic Committee is different from Democratic Party. So anyone that's in any city or town or county that votes Democrat, they're considered to be part of the Democratic Party. But to be a part of the Democratic Committee, there's an affidavit that you sign that says you want to be on that committee, but it says that you're a Democrat, you voted Democrat, you believe in the policies and procedures of the Democratic Committee, and you don't belong to any other political organization or affiliation. That's an affidavit that everybody signs to be a part of the Democratic Committee. Okay. So the chairman, which is Mr. James Williams, his responsibility is similar, mirrors mine. So those things that I'm responsible for, now that county chairman is totally responsible for implementing that and make sure that it happens. So once you have the executive officers, which is the chair, the first vice, the second vice, the secretary, and treasurer, now they are to build that county party. And so what that looks like is Dougherty County has 6 districts. And so in each district, there should be what we call post seat holders. Those are district leaders. Some people say district captains. And so the law says that we can have 1 post seat holder per every 10,000 people. So Dougherty County at about 60,000 people, so that means we can have a max of 6 people per district, which gives us 36 post seat holders.
Okay.
Those post seat holders now elect your executive officers, which would be your chair, your first vice, your second vice, your secretary, and treasurer. The most important thing, though, is for those post seat holders, they are the voice of their district. They should be doing what we do anytime, in any place. They're knocking on doors. They're having their own little town hall meetings. They're having their own little gatherings to find out what are the issues and concerns for that particular district. Bring all 6 of those districts together. Let's talk about what those issues, let's prioritize those issues, and now that becomes the platform for the Democratic Committee for Dougherty County. And the platform is, what are we going to focus on? Are we going to focus on voter suppression, racial injustice? Depends on what that platform is. That is the work that needs to be done. And again, those post seat holders are the ones who are really out in the community finding out what's going on. The other thing is we should make sure that we have other committees too, like veterans and military families, a committee for seniors, a committee for DEI, which is diversity and inclusion. But the most important thing, though, is that we need to get to the point where we also are ensuring that our members are going to our city council meetings, our county commission meetings, our school board meetings, and all things government that affects all of us in the community, so we can have that voice and we can come back. And then, there are those occasions when there may be some injustices that happen in the community, And there are certain of those that the Democratic Party will take a stand on. But that county chair is responsible for maintaining the cohesion of that county party, aligning with the principles and the bylaws of the DPG, but again, just making sure that that county is doing the things that Democrats do.
Okay. What advice would you give those who are interested in running for office?
One, know that you're really running. Politics isn't from everybody, but I believe that if you have the heart and everything like that, I think that you should go for it. I tell everybody, and those that know me well would know that I say, politics makes strange bedfellows. So politics makes strange bedfellows. And so the politics in Dougherty County with the city commission, the county commission, and the school board is all under the umbrella of nonpartisan, meaning they don't represent a party when they sitting in their official capacity. But what we all need to know is that even though we say nonpartisan and we will work, along those nonpartisan lines, let's be real clear. When we go in the voting booth, we're voting our particular political party, whether it's Republican or Democrat. But like I said, by them being nonpartisan, then the key thing is they need to represent the whole community. And what I would say is have that conversation, because in order to win, you have to have votes. In order to have votes, people need to know you. In order for people to know you, you need to be out there doing work in the community.
Campaigning.
I can't say what that work is. No, campaigning comes later. It's great if you can go out and already have name recognition, brand recognition, meaning people know you in the community. And so then when you get your campaign, then you need to be clear on what your platform is. Have you talked to the community, and are you echoing the community's concerns versus you speaking for yourself, which you think you know what the ills of the community are? So again, my advice to anyone that wants to run, one, be clear of your platform. Two, have money. It takes money to run. And so we have different levels, which is municipal elections, which we have coming up in August. Okay. The municipal elections, the offices that are up for a re-election is the mayor position, Ward 1, City Commission, Ward 4 City Commission, and Ward 6 City Commission. So we have 3 city commissioner seats and a mayor seat that's coming for election in August. And then they qualify in August, and they have up until November to run, and the election's in November, and they take office in January. So there's a whole swat of time that they need to be campaigning, which takes money. And also, once they get out there, the truth is in the pudding, which is people showing up to vote. And so again, the top 3 things is have that passion, have a platform, have money, and get out there and run the race.
What do you want to share with the community related to politics and elections?
Politics and election. The Dougherty County Democratic Committee is in formation. Back in it changed leadership with Mr. James Williams taking the helm, and really want to appreciate Mr. James Williams as the chair, Mr. Benny Hand as the first chair, Mr. Greg Fullerton as the treasurer, Ms. Diane as the secretary, and Ms. Tim Wesserman as the communications and go-to guy. They've done a great job in maintaining the committee to this point, but we need to grow. We had all of those post-seat holders that we talk about, but because of the pandemic, we have the leadership, but we don't have the body. So we're back in formation and getting the body. So what I would say is, one, we need everyone that claims to be a Democrat to come out and support the Dougherty County Democratic Committee. The Dougherty County Democratic Committee will meet from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Thursday, June 15th at 318 North Washington Street. We'll be discussing the upcoming PSH, which is post-seat holders, and executive board selection, which is we'll be talking about the upcoming elections that we need in order to form the Democratic Committee for Dougherty County.
Okay.
We have elections coming up that we need to be able to support our nonpartisan candidates. And we also need to be prepared going into January, because we come out of Christmas, we go into New Year's, and the primaries are starting in March, which is early. Okay. So there's really no time to sleep on getting ready for the presidential election that's going to be in November of next year. And so, again, the key thing is everybody. If you're a Democrat, please come out and support the Dougherty County Democratic Committee on this Thursday. It's posted on the Dougherty County Democratic Committee Facebook page. It's posted on RAPCO Media Facebook page. It's posted on Georgia's second Congressional District, which is my page, and we'll be sending out an email to all those that are on email list. So again, we just encourage you to be the difference that you seek, and that know that your voice counts, and that we want to hear your voice. But in order to do that and be able to support our Democratic candidates, we need to come out and be supportive.
Make sure y'all come out. But I would like to thank you for
Pleasure's
coming
all
out
mine.
in the studio today.
Yes, ma'am.
It was great having you.
Yes, ma'am.
You're very informative.
Thank you very much.
And make sure you come back again.
We shall do that. And again, to everyone, as they say, the sound of my voice, we look forward to seeing you on Thursday at 6 p.m. For the information on forming the Democratic Committee of Dougherty County. So thank you all for your time, and appreciate RAPCO Media for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
IK Medical is a credentialed laboratory service provider for both insured and uninsured clients. We provide COVID testing along with vaccinations and boosters. Both DOT, non-DOT, pre-occupational physicals and testing services are reliable, with turnaround times to meet the needs of our clients. Our professional staff are passionate when it comes to providing high-quality client care, even when we must go the extra mile. Contact IK Medical Diagnostic Service today at 229-405-1748 or visit our website. It's our business to meet your needs.
Welcome back. In light of Juneteenth coming up, this past Saturday at Dougherty Comprehensive High School, a town hall meeting was held in an attempt to unite the community to urge change and help build on to what Albany is today.
One of the pieces we have in Albany that is an untapped resource is the technical college system, because most of these new industries are going to need that piece to train your workers.
I've worked with several campaigns here in Albany, Georgia as manager. Currently, I am working with our after-school programs. With the second knowledge, we have.
My name is Joshua Anthony. I'm a student at Georgia State, economics student, and I'm a junior, and I'm also a native to Albany. Using Juneteenth as more than just a temporary celebration of unity, by using it as an opportunity for a springboard to actually being a more unified city. It's a lot of dissidence and a lot of individualism and polarization. We don't have any common ground anymore, or any common foundation, so I think we can use that as an opportunity to use that, Juneteenth as a springboard of togetherness. The biggest thing is to find something that's important to you. A lot of the times we just go off of what is available instead of creating other opportunities for ourselves. Even if it costs money, it's okay to work with other people to get to the means of what you're trying to get to in order to bring that industry or whatever you feel is important into your community. So I would say in regards to young people, really building something worthwhile in the city, be it a physical thing or just a movement, just remain consistent and just carve out room for yourself instead of having to accommodate others in their feelings. So I've been in politics since I was 14, and I'm 28. So I think it's important that we educate, but also allow for people our age to do what they need to, what they want to do. In that regards to putting students in charge of social media and communications and things of that nature, because who knows better than what we want than us, and we can't rely on somebody who's in their 70s to properly communicate issues that we're facing to a 17-year-old. So it's like you have to figure out who the students are that want to be in this arena and allow them to communicate and push out a message that is conducive not to just themselves but to everybody.
Economic development is a big issue in Albany. We have such a high poverty rate. We have a lot of people who need to be employed. So we need to definitely focus on things that are going to attract business, that are going to strengthen our local entrepreneurs, that are going to allow us to become a city that can then translate into one that has a lot of disposable income, because it's disposable income that allows people to go to your shops, allows them to buy homes, it allows them to participate in the local economy. So, that's kind of my passion, economic development. How do we improve the economics of Albany? And then as a side to that, we definitely need to look at how do we bring some equity between the races. There's a huge gap between what a white household has in terms of a net worth and what a black family has in terms of net worth. So that's really what the spirit of Juneteenth was all about. It was about freedom and economic freedom. And so those are things that I'll definitely be talking about, as we move forward in these town halls.
One of the things I think we could do to improve turnout for town halls is to help other people understand how this benefits their everyday lives. And so once they understand that this is a direct benefit to their lives and that they have the power, I think that people will be more engaged to come to town halls like this.
When we did our focus groups back in 2018, one of the top issues people talked about was the need to do something about crime in our community. And so we formed our organization based on those conversations. And so criminal justice reform and public safety is one of our core initiatives. And so we try to really understand from a data-informed perspective, like what are the top crimes in Albany? What are the top issues in Albany? People typically say gangs and gun violence is a major issue, but it's not so much connected to the gangs as it is the highest rate of gun violence actually comes from domestic violence. And so our community has seen so many gun violence type crimes. We've not only seen gun violence, there's suicides, there's accidental shootings. And so we have to be informed about the totality of the situation, and that's what we try to do. We recently just held a Wear Orange event to raise awareness about all the different types of gun violence so that we can start informing our legislators on how to create policies that protect people from all different perspectives. So it's not always just going after gangs and creating laws around gangs. It is like, what are we going to do about domestic violence? How are we going to make sure we have gun locks in our community so that there's less accidental shootings by young people? That's the types of criminal justice reform we're trying to look at. Yeah, so out of 159 counties, Dougherty County is the only county that does not have an elected tax commissioner. We have a property tax director that's a hired position, but we don't have someone that's elected from the people that really serves over our tax commission. And so why not? We don't understand why that is, and so we've been trying to research why Dougherty County doesn't have that, and then what are the benefits of having a tax commissioner. Obviously another 158 other counties see the benefits of that, but we don't here in Dougherty County. And so we've been pushing for years for our city to take that seriously so that we can start to address things like blight in our community, property tax increases. Are we increasing too high or too low? What is it that we need? What is it that a property tax commissioner can provide that we're missing out on as a community?
It has been my experience working in both Dougherty County school system and the Gwinnett County public school system. I just see an emphasis on the leadership because everything rises and falls on leadership. So therefore, you have to be strategic in who is placed in leadership positions, and you have to ensure that person is well trained, has the credentials, and that you provide continuous training. Gwinnett likes to think of itself as a CQI, which is a continuous quality improvement school district. So we all should be striving to improve each and every day. So that can be provided through training of your leadership, as well as providing training for those teachers. So that was something that was emphasized in Gwinnett, I would say.
Well, I think we are at a crossroads where we are trying to determine how to best prioritize the needs of our community. A lot of things that are going on in Albany don't necessarily speak to a lot of the issues we have going on, and there's a lot of movement in certain areas of the city, but not a lot of things going on in other areas. But we understand that, as the community, African American community, we make up 75% of this
county and this city, and we need our concerns prioritized.
When it comes to uprooted tree service, I can always count on Warren to get the job done.
While I was enjoying the festivities at Fridays on the Flint, I got the chance to interview a very distinct company, Old Soap Goat Company.
So we have a project that we call Soap for Hope. It's a homeless project. We take donations year-round, whether it's monetary donations, donations of clothes, shoes, toiletries like toothpaste and razor blades, maybe feminine products, things that these people need all year that they don't normally spend their money on because they're hungry.
Okay, that's nice. What's this oil I see back here?
So these oils back here are the beard oils. Help keep your beard moisturized and eliminate that beard itch. As you grow a beard and it gets long like this one here, it tends to draw moisture from your skin, makes you real itchy. That eliminates it.
And that is your weekly recap of RAPCO 365. I'm your host, Yasmyne McKinley.